let's get it. Okay, so welcome guys, welcome back to the live. Starting a little bit late, but then we had to talk about something very interesting. So today I had to talk about tariffs, something which has been happening in the markets for the past 3 to 4 months right now. So now I want to start by addressing the aspect of tariffs and actually what is tariffs. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this, first off, the reason why I'm doing this is because if you look at the current market situation of what happened, especially today, that's April 3rd, what happened today, April 3rd, you're going to notice that the market for USD was very bearish. Why that of it? That's negatively correlated pairs like GBP USD were very bullish. So now the question I'm trying to bring out here is, why is it that each time we have tariffs in a market, each time we have a news concerning tariffs in the market is always moving drastically? Why are we always having this happening in the market drastically? It's for a very specific reason. Tariff has a way of affecting the market. It has a way that each time that the president imposes more tariffs on another country, it creates reaction in the market. So I'll start by looking at the first point. What is tariffs? Okay, what is tariffs? So tariffs, if I should really give simple terms of what tariffs is a tax or a levy tax imposed by a country on its neighboring country trying to import products. Okay, so let's take for instance, on very simple terms, if America tends to impose a tax on Canada importing its product into America, America has the right to impose or increase its tariffs or reduce it depending on the international relations on the country between that's America and Canada. Okay, America has the right, if they want to increase the tariffs, they can increase it. If they want to reduce the tariffs, they can reduce it. So now, how does these tariffs affect the financial market? That's the forex market, to be very specific. One thing you have to notice about tariffs is that tariffs has to deal with international, that's two or more countries. When America is dealing with Canada, we are literally talking about the US dollar versus Canadian dollar. So the US dollar has a way that is going to react by the time the president of the US gets to impose or increase his tariffs on another country. So I would like to show you guys something on the green screen. That's a news which happened some few days back before what's happening today that caused the market reaction. Okay, so if you look on the green screen here, give me a second. So if you look if you check on here, you're going to see that it says that the US President Donald Trump has ignited a potential rigorous global trade war after imposing a 10% level on imports from around the world and hence extra duties to key trading partners. Now, what does this mean? This just simply means that President Donald Trump decided that he was going to impose tariffs on neighboring countries around the world. And as a result of that, just the fact that the United States decided to impose tariffs on countries around the world is a very sensitive and important news or subject to talk about. Okay, now the fact that the president imposed tariffs on more countries, now it leads to international tensions. Take for instance, America has a trading partner, Canada. They have been doing business for a while now, and then America wakes up out of a sudden and maybe say the tariffs was at 25%, and then they decide to increase tariffs by 25% again. That means that the tariffs now of America on imports from Canada is at 50%. What happens? You now just notice that automatically international relationship has been tampered with. Just the fact that international relationship has been tampered with, it affects the currency. It affects the currency, it affects the economy, it affects employment, it affects inflation, it affects almost every aspect of these two countries. So literally, tariffs has a very strong way of affecting the markets. And that's exactly why when we had the news today, China reacted. If you read the news, for some of you guys who saw the volatility that happened today during London session, I just went straight away. I didn't go to Forex Factory. I didn't check on Forex Factory. Forex Factory has a programmed news which literally they do release. But then what happens now is that China reacted to what the US did. Okay, the US, they decided, President Donald Trump decided that he was going to increase tariffs by, I think it was 10%. He was going to increase tariffs on all neighboring countries, and that was for a retaliatory effect. He's going to retaliate because some countries were already increasing tariffs on the US. So Donald Trump was saying that he was going to increase tariffs again to the US. The moment he did this, he increased tariffs on China by 34%. And the president of China, that's China as a whole, they just retaliated. And they are retaliating, saying that they are going to increase now their own tariffs, which means now that what we are having now is an economic war. International relations is being tampered with. China is a very strong country, America is a very strong country. When you bring these two countries together, the type of relationship which they have, and if they have to start having frictions, it's not a good event for the world economy. Okay, so that's exactly why we are having market spikes happening all here and there. Remember, the very first time that we had the instance of tariffs happening in the markets, that was during January. The moment Trump took over power, the first country that he started by increasing tariffs on was on Canada and Mexico. He increased tariffs on Canada and Mexico. But the president of Mexico and the prime minister of Canada, they retaliated. Why did they retaliate? Because Trump increased his tariffs by 50% on all imports. I think those imports were specified. But when the retaliation happened, that means now that it was more like a fight. US throws a bomb, not really like a bomb, but then this time a tariff blow, and then Canada and Mexico decide to throw back a tariff blow. So at the end of the day, we are experiencing these international tensions happening between two countries. And the only way that such a situation can be fixed is if these two presidents get to come together, they sit down on a meeting and get to talk about it, and have a meeting, talk about it, how they can fix it up. If not, nothing can be done about it. If you were the one importing goods from China, and China has increased tariffs by 50%, you can't do that. So at the end of the day, it tampers with international relationships, it tampers with the stock markets. Companies are highly affected by the prices of, that's the tax of tariffs that tariffs comes with. Companies are highly affected by these taxes. So if a country decides to increase its tariffs by 50% and a certain company was importing or exporting goods to a certain country, that automatically affects the stocks of the company. Imagine the stock market of the US crashing down as a result of just a simple 5% increase in tariffs on a certain country such as China. What happens to the stocks of, let's say, America? America exports serious products to the US. One of the highest buyers of American cars is China. So when things like this are happening, you get to notice that Chinese cannot, they are not going to, if you are buying a car at $50,000 and then they say the tariffs is now running at 50%, that would definitely mean that you have to start buying now at $75,000. You have to buy at $75,000. So at the end of the day, most consumers are not even going to purchase again. Obviously, it affects the stock market. The moment it does that, prices, it affects the value of the currency. The value of the currency is either going to spike up or it's going to spike down. One way or the other, the value of the currency gets affected. So if you are picking out something from here, the essence of this discussion is just to circle around the aspect of tariffs and what's happening with the current war situation. That's That's the main important goal of this conversation, is just to circle the importance of tariffs. If you can get the importance of tariffs, you will notice that sometimes you can be trading, you can be in a trade, you have taken a buy, the market is moving accordingly into your direction, but then out of nowhere, you just find a candle spiking all against you, literally, and you go to check on Forex Factory, you don't have any news, and you're wondering to yourself what is happening. You're asking yourself questions, what exactly is happening? You can't find answers. The reason why you can't be checking, you want to check on miscellaneous. So how do I get this information? I get this information from a website I call Ground News. So if you have been watching all the way till now, I get all this information from this website called Ground News. Now on Ground News, exactly, tariff battlefield. Yes, it's a tariff battlefield. On Ground News, I get all this information regarding the current economic state of the US. On Ground News, I also get information regarding the current economic state of China, Russia, Ukraine, the wars in Gaza and everything. And what I focus on is international relations. Because as a Forex trader, if international relations has been tampered with, it causes prices to spike. That's just a general fundamental factor. If international relations has been tampered with, it will cause price to spike. So I pay attention to international relations. So if there is any news coming up, if there is any major news coming up, and that news has nothing to do with international relations being tampered with, then definitely it's not going to affect the market in any significant manner. But then should it be international relations, especially on international trades, bilateral trades like that, monetary policies, it has a very huge, you have to pay attention to it because it has a long way to go. Things like wars, those are the type of things that has huge impacts on the market. Some extra things that I also pay attention to on that's out of Forex Factory, which most of you Forex traders will normally know, is some of the extra things I pay attention to is wars or bombs. Sometimes you just get a breaking news that a bomb has happened to a very sensitive country and it sends the market spiking in different directions. That's as well caused by fight or international relations. So trust me, you watching this video, I've been speaking for 13 minutes right now. You watching this video, you want to pay serious attention to international relationship. Tariffs is just one of them, and there is a lot more. We are getting to learn the market, and I've gotten to learn so far that since my trading career, this is one of the first times that I'm experiencing a real world situation of a president imposing tariffs on another country, and then the country not being satisfied with the situation of tariffs decides to retaliate. So when things like this are happening, I am learning, I'm reading the news background, I'm trying to understand exactly what is happening. Why would this country decide to do this, and why would this country decide to do this, in order to get more information. When you have such information like this, you will know exactly what to do on the market. And I've realized this is a free tip. Okay? My free tip is, if ever, this is something you can just take your time to check. There is something on Forex Factory which is called miscellaneous. Okay? What's miscellaneous? Now, if you go on Forex Factory, you have news that has to deal with interest rates, inflation and all the others. You have news that has to deal with employment. You have news that has to deal with all these factors. Okay, there are factors that have been classified, events that have been classified on Forex Factory. But now the thing is, all these news, they come in a programmed form. What do I mean by program form? That means that they have a specific date and time in which they are going to be released. If that specific date and time has not yet arrived, that news is not going to come into effect on the market. But our goal as a trader, remember, is to wait for the specific date and time and know exactly how to react towards the news. But you also have to pay attention to the fact that sometimes in the market, events can happen unexpected, regardless of whether there was an event coming up or not. So you can just be trading in a market and then out of nowhere, a candle spikes out of nowhere and it's moving to a specific direction. You don't know exactly what is going to, you don't know exactly what happened, but the market is moving. The market is moving. Take for instance, during election, when Trump won election, that was like some 3 months ago. 3 months ago, when Trump literally won the election, the market GBP USD dropped about 200 pips. Euro USD, I remember it dropped about 200 pips in a day. That was basically in about 4 hours. A sell case scenario which I've been trying to catch the whole day, I didn't catch, but at 7 p.m. it dropped 200 pips. That was when the news went viral and public. So all these things, it was irregardless of Forex Factory. So top of it, I'm just trying to say that at the end of the day, let's just pay attention to what tariffs has to say, or what tariffs is and how to tackle it. If you are a trader, pay attention to miscellaneous. Miscellaneous means that a news which is unexpected. Nobody expected that the news was going to come, but then it happened. So pay attention to such types of news, and it will really help you as well as a trader. It will really do help you. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm happy I was able to share this. For some of you guys who don't know me, like I always say, I am MUDIA, and I just come here over time once in a while to share my ideas or what I learned concerning the market with you guys. If you have been watching this all the way to now, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one if I get to have some updates, very important and market related. I'll see you guys. Peace out. Ciao.